Hi guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the top 3 weapons for each weapon class, so assault rifles, carbines, etc. The format that I'll be using is I'll choose a best close range weapon, a best all-round weapon, and the last weapon of choice will be free, so whatever, a special kind of weapon. If you enjoyed the video and want to help me get to 100 subs, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting for the algorithm, and all of that, so let's get into it. So starting off with the almighty assault rifles, we have the AEK 971 for the close range category. This gun has a 900 round per minute fire rate, second only to the FAMAS. It has quite violent recoil but can be tamed to become lethal with a little bit of practice. I recommend sitting in a test range for 5 to 10 minutes to get used to this gun, or you might find it a bit difficult. My attachments for the AEK are the compensator and stubby grip. The rest are completely personal preference, so I'm not going to mention those. If you're finding the recoil hard to manage, try the angle grip and or the muzzle brake. For the best all-round category, we have the Ace 23. This gun is easy to learn with pretty manageable recoil. It also has a 36 round magazine, which makes multi-kills that much easier. This weapon is unfortunately a bit of a grind to get, but it's well worth it, being one of my personal favourites. My attachments for the Ace are the stubby grip and muzzle brake. If you're finding the recoil difficult, switch to stubby grip for an angled grip. For the special category, I have chosen the Scar H, featuring 7.62 ammunition. Scar H hits like a truck with the joint single highest bullet damage of all assault rifles. This gun is capable of a 2-hit kill if you get headshots at close range. I recommend using this weapon on more open maps as it will be out-damaged by the likes of the AEK in close quarters. I like to run the angle grip on the Scar, but if you're struggling, try putting a muzzle brake on it. Next we have the PDWs for the engineer class, and we'll jump right into it with the close range category, which is occupied by the MPX. You might find it difficult to unlock this gun if you're new, as the game mode required to get it is pretty rare now, but despite this, the MPX has a nice 850 round per minute rate of fire with good damage, making it really good at close range. It does kick quite a lot, but that isn't that big of a deal as all PDWs are pretty bad at range. I like to run this gun with a compensator and an angle grip. Try using it without the angle grip if you feel like you have the recoil down. For the best all-round PDW, we have the PDWR, with a modest rate of fire and decent damage, but especially easy recoil, not to mention the single best hip fire in the whole game. Unlike most other PDWs, this gun is perfectly capable at range, and I often find that I can beat carbines and even sometimes assault rifles with it. Just a cool bit of trivia for you, you cannot actually put a grip attachment on this gun because of its weird shape. So I don't run any special attachments on this gun, but if you want to make it that much easier to run, try a muzzle brake. For the special category PDW, we have the AS Val. This gun does a stupid amount of damage, being able to 4-hit kill someone at close range. Combine this with a 900 round per minute rate of fire, and you have a very fine gun. The major drawbacks of this weapon is its 20 round magazine capacity and high recoil, meaning you chew through ammo like crazy whilst missing a lot of your shots. You're going to end up reloading a lot with this gun. I use the angle grip on the AS Val, and you have to use the suppressor on this weapon, so you can't use the muzzle brake to help with the recoil. Next up is the light machine gun class for support, and the best close range weapon being the MG4. It has a 800 round per minute rate of fire and assault rifle like damage. In fact, many assault rifles are actually out damaged by this gun in close range. It also features a mammoth 200 round magazine, and so is perfect for maps where you don't want to reload as you're meeting enemies in quick succession like Metro or Locker. I like to run the MG4 with a stubby grip and no barrel. Again, use angle grip or muzzle brake to help with the recoil. The best all-round light machine gun is the AWS, being only slightly less damaging than the MG4 due to a slower rate of fire. The strengths of this weapon lie with its low recoil and fast magazine reload, with a reload time of only 3.4 seconds versus the MG4's 6.2. Now keep in mind, you do only get 100 bullets in your magazine versus the MG4's 200, but I still think 100 is plenty. I like to run my AWS with a compensator stubby grip combo. The same as before applies if you are struggling with recoil. For the special category light machine guns, we have the RPK. This gun rewards accuracy like no other weapon in Battlefield 4 with a stupid high damage model, but a slow rate of fire and relatively small magazine. This gun is massively, ridiculously good in the hands of someone who knows how to use it. Stay on the edges of combat zones and pick people off with this weapon to maximize its efficiency. I only run a stubby grip on the RPK as to not harm its strengths. Now rounding out the class specific weapons, we have the snipers. Now, snipers are not really meant for close range, but for some reason there are still which are okay at it in this game, the best of which being the CS5. The CS5 has the highest fire rate of all bolt action snipers at 53 rounds per minute, which means you can get multiple shots off in quick succession to take down targets. Or if you're like me, miss lots and get away with it. For all snipers, I use the straight pull and variable zoom because they're just too useful for me to ignore. However, suit your sniper as you would like to, as it's all down to personal preference for these weapons. The best all-round sniper that I selected is the M98B with its high muzzle velocity of 650 meters per second, meaning you won't have to lead your shots as much. Add to this a slow but respectable rate of fire and 10-shot magazine, the M98B is the sweet spot for many recoil players. It doesn't quite have the long-range capabilities of the SRR61, but makes up for it with the faster bullets and bigger magazine. I like to use the same attachments as the CS5. In the special category for snipers is the SRR61. This weapon excels at range, being the best long-range sniper in the game. This is down to low bullet drop of this weapon, meaning you don't have to account for gravity as much, as well as a good muzzle velocity. To best use this weapon, be on the outskirts of combat or even sitting on a nice vantage point with a bipod. Suit this sniper how you'd like, but I would recommend gearing it more towards long range with a bipod and a 20x scope. Next we begin the non-class specific weapons, beginning with the carbines. The best close quarters carbine being without a doubt the ACWR. This thing is a machine with an 880 round per minute rate of fire and assault rifle like damage. You will be able to go toe to toe with even the best weapons in the game if you can handle the recoil. If you don't want to use a PDW or LMG, this is a great option. I use this weapon with a stubby grip and a muzzle brake. For the best all-round carbine we have the AK-5C. This gun excels in no category but is really good in all of them. Combine this with an easy recoil pattern and you have an all-round beast capable of pretty much any range. I recommend using this weapon on larger maps, especially for the engineer class. I like to use a stubby grip and no barrel attachment for the AK-5C. For the special PDW category we have the MTAR-21. This weapon has very similar characteristics to the ACWR, but in my opinion is a little bit less versatile at longer ranges due to higher recoil and more frequent reloads. This weapon simply can't be ignored though, as it's too good, which is why it's in the special category. I use a muzzle brake and an angle grip on the MTAR-21. The penultimate weapon class is the DMRs. These weapons have always been a bit iffy in Battlefield 4. I don't think the devs got the balance quite right, as they kinda suck. Don't get me wrong though, in capable hands any weapon can do well. So for close quarters we have the SKS, simply because it has the highest rate of fire of any DMR, as well as a nice 20 round magazine. I have also chosen this weapon for best all round, simply as I can't think of any other DMR that can compare besides the one in the special category, which is definitely worse than the SKS, but not terrible. For attachments I use a heavy barrel on the SKS. For the special category DMR I have the SVD, as the damage is crazy high, which means you can actually one-shot players with a headshot in close range. I'm not good enough to pull this off, but go check out Sabello, I don't know how to say the name, in the description. He will show you the potential that this gun has. I'm not affiliated with this guy or anything, by the way, I just think he's a really good player. Last but certainly not least, we have the shotguns. All of these guns are good at close quarters, but some have more killing power than others. The shotgun with the most close quarters killing power is definitely the Saiga 12K with buckshot ammunition, purely due to its fire rate and decent magazine size, allowing you to get multiple kills off in quick succession. For the best overall shotgun, I have chosen the 870 CMS due to its pretty ridiculous range. It's not uncommon to be one hit by this gun at about 20 meters away when using the buckshot ammunition. If you want to use a shotgun on a more open map, then the 870 CMS is just a no-brainer. And for the last gun in the video, the special category shotgun, I've chosen the Saiga 12K with frag rounds. Please don't use this gun. Please, just don't use it.